Hi, I'm Paul Brodie. Mitch is behind the cameras. We're in my shop. Welcome. We're switching from motorcycles over to bicycles, and I'm going to be working on a Ritchey biplane fork. And don't forget that we're having a sale on merchandise, 18% off. We did reach 80,000 subscribers. Thank you for that. So I think I need to tell you the story of how I got involved in this project. I got a friend named Rob Sanderson, and I've got a gate, and the gate needed some stonework. And Rob's into Ritchey's big time. So he worked on my gate, so I owe him. And it turns out that what he needs is a couple biplane forks. And so I said, well, if you have a contact for Tom Ritchey and you can get the parts, I'll build the forks. So that's kind of how it all started. And then Jim Nielsen, he's another friend, somehow right away he heard from Rob that I was going to build some forks. So he put his name down for one, and then I want one. So that's why there's the parts for 4 of these biplane forks. So I did talk to Tom, and he was helpful. And he said that what he has is the blades and the dropouts are brazed in, because he has to braze in the dropout so that he can rake the fork, because you can't hold the tube hard enough to add a rake to it. This is what he tells me, and I didn't have a raking jig, and I didn't want to build a raking jig. So what he sold me was 4 sets of blades, and then I also have the crowns here. I'll show you a couple things here which are interesting. Like, it's been sanded. Look how it's kind of worn away there, and there's another one. Yeah, this one's kind of got a little bit worn away, but as I braze it up, it'll get filled in. That'll be okay. And then I was looking, always looking somewhere. And here's a blade. Okay, first I'll show you this one. Can you see how there's some braze here? Can you see there's a little bit of braze? And I'm thinking, how did the braze get from here to here? That didn't make a lot of sense to me. And then it's also a little high right there as well. So then I looked at this one here, and there's a notch. Can you see there's a notch in there? I have no idea what that notch is for. Anyway, I guess I'm going to have to fill this one up, and then all of the brazing has to be filed smooth. One thing I found very interesting. Okay, this is probably made early 80s, mid 80s, something like that. Can you see how the rakes are completely different? That's a lot of difference in the rake. And what's nice about this rake is the curve goes all the way into the dropout. That's nice. There's a nice flow going on there. On these ones, there's a straight, see how there's a straight section of maybe inch and a bit. It'll work fine, but it doesn't look as good as when the rake goes all the way into the dropout. And these are Ritchey dropouts. A little hard to see here. If you look at this, you know, some of them aren't as okay. This one's, there you go. There's the Ritchey logo right there. And other ones, you can hardly see it. So it's like it's inconsistent somehow. It'll still work fine. Here's my fork jig. It's been a long time since I've made one of these forks. And these forks have a 2-inch rake approximately, because back in the days, see, that needs to be filed down because it won't go on. It won't go on my jig. So we use this one here. So I've been thinking about how to do things on these forks, and I came up with a system yesterday how to mill these, because this has to be milled at an angle of 22 degrees about. So I'll show you what I got set up on the mill. First of all, what we're going to do is the steer tube, and these are Columbus. I'm told these are Columbus, and that's how they come. They come like that. I could have got some threads on there, but then it's a certain length, and it didn't match what I needed for these customer friends who are each getting a fork. So what I did was I cut them down to size. This is how long they are, and I went to the lathe and I put on a thread. This is the bottom. You see how it's a certain thickness. It's like 2 point something mil, and this one up here is 1.2 or something. So this is where the quill stem goes into, and this is the bottom like that. So let's go over to the lathe. I'm going to cut a thread for you. That's how we're going to start out today. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, I think that's good. There's not any slop in there, but I like that. Okay, over to the mill. Okay, what I want to show you is, here's the lock ring. It's got a little bit that goes into the center, and that goes into the slot. Oh, this is a larger one. Anyway, it fits in there. What's interesting is that on the Ritchey fork, it has no keyway or slot, whatever you want to call it. So I guess you have to leave this out or take a file and file off that, and then your headset might come loose. This is a Bontrager fork. This is actually Jim's fork, and someone has taken a little grinder or something, I don't know, and they've notched it out, but it doesn't have a sharp edge on either side, so it's not going to hold very well. Let's see if this fits. No, it does not fit anyway, so anyway, that's my little show and tell right here and now. So that's about 300 RPM. Going back to the bench. How long is a fork? It's measured in terms of axle up to crown. So here's the axle, and then I go to the crown. That is the crown right there. And it's a little under 370. I got it in like 368, 367, something like that. So I need to set this up so that it's the same. And then I need to mark where to cut the forks. There you go, 367, something like that. So that's where the crown wants to go, right there. And it cuts into it a little bit, so. Okay, that's good. So if I put a piece of masking tape over there, I'll know if it moves or not. So it's a two-stage operation. I cut this in the hacksaw at an angle, and then it goes over to the mill, and I use an end mill, and I face it off at that angle. I put a bit of thought into that, so we'll see how it actually works out. I think it'll work fine. This one has to come in a little bit too. That should be my cut, like that. And this goes on the bottom, right? So that's how wide it's going to be. Right about like that. I took a dial indicator, I dialed this in because the other side has to flip over this way. So I'm using this here as a stop, but it'll be here and here depending on the blade. I've never done this before, not like this. How come that one doesn't? Oh, I see. Oh, 7/8. Well, I wonder what Tom does here, because I thought this was going to go over top of that, but it doesn't. This hole is the same size as that. So anyway, I'll figure that one out. If I press that in like that, and then I put this across like that, that looks like a right angle to me. Very, very close. Okay, so I just have to make it the right length now. It's right about the right length right now. We said 367, didn't we? And that's basically what it is. $367. Okay, that's good. So I'm looking inside here to see what Tom did, and it looks like there's a mark here. It looks like what he might have done is to bore the top of this so that it fits, so the steer tube fits into that. Because I don't think, well, that's strong. But I think that's what I have to do. I think I have to open up this to 1 inch. I've got 1 inch hole saw. So somehow this has to go like that in top. It only has to go down a little bit. So I need to work on that. Okay. Let's see if it fits now. What I can do is I can file that. I can put a little bit of a taper on there, and that's going to hold it in there. So that's how that's going to work. Okay, that's in there. That looks okay. Yeah, thank you, Bernard. Nice gloves. He rides trials. Okay. That was a lot of work. I don't know if it shows in the video, but that was a lot of work. And it fits the wheel pretty good. It's a 2.0 tire, a 26. That looks fine. Looks like it's right in the middle. So next episode, we're going to do some brazing. These are the cantilever bosses. And you see here how it's all sculpted with the bronze. These have to be mitered so that, see how it's, well, it's not bad. It's a little far out. This spacing is 75 millimeters, so we have to fine tune that. And this, see how it rocks? This is a larger miter than what the tube is, or the tube here. You can see how it moves. Next time. Thank you very much for watching. Merchandise is on sale, 18% off. Mitch and I like coffees. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. See you next time.